All right, this week on Prof and Dev Play Games, we are talking about some somber shit. We're talking about Bungie, and we're talking about Game Informer. Stay tuned. All right, my friends, welcome to episode 442. Holy shit, the numbers get bigger of Prof and Dev Play Games. I am Larry, I am a professor, and I am at Prof Plays Games on Blue Sky. Over there is Anthony the Dev at Summerspeak on Blue Sky. Yikes, what a week, man.
Yeah. The numbers keep getting bigger. Does that mean our line always goes up?
Yeah, wait a second. This makes some line go straight up. This is awesome.
Yeah, constant.
We're just conditioned because of our stock market to need to have some line go up. So if it can't be profits,
it can be amount of content. Okay.
Yeah. God damn it. Holy shit, Bungie.
Yeah, yikes.
17% of the workforce gone.
Yeah. 17%, 220 positions laid off. 150-ish approximately being relocated into Sony,
right?
Which I think is on top of the layoffs, not
yes, exactly, not part of those 220.
So it's 150-ish people aren't laid off, but are now employees of Sony directly, and will not be part of Bungie. And then they spun off a team that I had not heard of before, but there's an R&D team there. Bungie's had plenty of R&D projects over the years, so I don't know which one it specifically is. But one of their R&D teams had something promising in an sci-fi action game.
Right.
And that is now just going to be spun off into a whole separate studio directly run by Sony.
Yeah, because it's a partnership with SIE, or not even partnership. I guess it's just theirs now.
Yeah. I mean, Bungie is owned by SIE, so.
Yeah, no, they're independent, but part of the deal was that they didn't hit certain metrics, then they would lose their independent leadership and be absorbed into SIE.
Correct.
And some of the fallout of this, which you may be able to explain better than I can, people are pissed at Pete Parsons, the CEO of Bungie, for misrepresenting the financials of Bungie to Sony when they were acquired for $3 billion. I don't know if you've heard anything about that or dug into that at all. I
mean, you can hear about that. I don't think I am not privy to any specific information that could confirm that happening or not. Yeah. I will say, going through a buyout before, you always put your best foot forward. I wouldn't say you fudge numbers or misrepresent, but you're doing your, to sell a company like that for $3.6 billion. You have a good team on that acquisition team arguing why you're worth that much money.
Oh yeah, spinning it for sure, getting sold.
So you're spinning it in your own way, and that's the whole point. You spin it, and expectations are based on that spin. Was the expectations correct? Probably not. But some of the stuff coming out has been clear for a while now, is that Bungie has had a hard time being profitable with the size of the team to make to Destiny. Yep. It's a huge team. 700-ish people, I think, of Bungie were just on Destiny.
Right, and they had more, because there was around 1,000, I thought.
Yeah,
overall.
It could be up to 1,000.
Marathon and whatever else.
Yeah, other people are in Marathon, which is ramped up pretty far. But I mean, that's a huge scale. That's a huge burn rate. And, well, I feel like you can look at the numbers on Destiny and Destiny 2, and it does well, but I have a hard time seeing it does that well to really meet the scale of team that's building it. Which would be put back on management of being like, okay, well, what are you doing here? Ideally you want to be profitable so that people keep their jobs. So
how are you running in the red for so long and not course correcting, and course correcting in a way that's not just firing people while you go out and have your exotic car auctions going on?
Well, that was after the buyout. I'm sure he got, I would say this, I'm sure he got 3.6 billion. I'm sure he got more than 100 million straight up.
Oh yeah, sure.
Definitely. That's a low ball. I'm like, he could definitely got more than that. Probably less than Kotick got for the Activision buyout in the end.
Yeah.
But probably somewhere between 100 and 200. I'm like, just fun money. But at that point, I'm like, why are you even here anymore?
Yep.
Like,
Exactly.
you got your money. You can move on.
Just there to make people miserable, basically.
I guess so. At that point, I'm just like, unless there's some golden handcuff stuff going on.
Yeah,
I don't.
that's probably
When
a
was
good
the buyout?
It was 2 years ago. I thought it was 2022, or maybe it was 2021.
Bungie, Sony acquisition. When did that happen? Officially closed in. Give me a date. July 15th, 2022. Yeah, so it's been 2 years. I'm surprised Parsons is even on anymore at that point. Golden handcuffs are usually 2 years.
Yeah.
So
maybe staying out of spite.
This is the end. I wouldn't be surprised if he leaves. But doing this and then he'll resign.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Usually when this kind of stuff happens, there's obviously some people who are disgruntled and say certain things about their former boss. But there's a fucking lot of people saying kind of the same thing. So where there's smokes, there's fires.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, it's crazy. I had to check in with my friends there this week, right when it got announced, and I was like, they're fine.
Everyone, all your friends are still there, kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, they're doing okay. Some acquaintances I know don't really talk too much. Did lose their job, but the people I'm closest to, they're still there, still working on. I think they're on Marathon. So yeah. I don't know how much Marathon directly was impacted. But
I wonder. Yeah,
Destiny was definitely hit.
Oh yeah, especially if they're at the sunset of that game. There's not, at least as far as I understand, not any more big content drops for that game. The final shape was the final thing.
Yep. And I see a lot of stuff being like it reviewed really well, and this is how they get rewarded. It reviewed really well,
but it didn't sell super well.
I mean, I bet it sold fine, but it's not enough to course correct where Destiny is now. Yeah, the course correction should have happened quite a while ago. And I think they probably sold to Sony while things were still looking good. Like, that's the thing. Sony, they're not... I really doubt that Sony would probably be suing people if they cooked their books in any way. They just presented themselves very good at that time. And having gone through it, it's very easy to do, to present yourself without cooking books, to just be like, this is what's going on, this is what our projections are going to show, how things are going to go. If we hit all these metrics, just repeat the success we had. Problem is, it's hard to keep repeating success overall, because there's a lot of factors you don't control.
Well, if you do repeat that success, it's at a... like you said, the burn rate's a lot higher than it was before. The success you need to have would need to be a lot higher. So
and it's definitely they haven't. Like, Final Shape is good, but I feel like I've said it before. Destiny fans were the biggest critics of that game.
Oh yeah, absolutely, without a doubt.
And I know a lot of people drop off over the past few years. So yeah, it's really awful though. It's a lot. This is Sony now. They gave Bungie the runway they had. Management did not do well with that runway, and now Sony is going to control it a lot.
Well, and what does Sony get out of controlling Bungie other than IP? Like, what's worth the $3.3 billion?
They just start. Well, at that point, I mean, they just. What do you mean, like from the acquisition standpoint years ago?
If the studio is kind of imploding, what's worth the $3.3 billion? Just the Destiny IP?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they feel like the team may be worth it, like to build other things. They're just.
I see.
I bet they're just going to be under Sony control now, of being like, well, Bungie now clearly is probably just going to be run Destiny, make Marathon, and Marathon better be good. And be successful.
Yeah.
They're spinning out the other promising R&D project to a separate new Sony studio. So they're taking away that. Like, they're stripping Bungie down to be like, no, you just work on this now. This is you're the Destiny and Marathon team. see how that goes.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out for 700 people if those people are still on Destiny, or even 500, what's on the horizon to make money.
I don't know.
Yeah, unless they're doing spin-offs or new games. I don't know. I don't fucking know.
Maybe
man.
there's a Destiny 3. I don't know. Like,
the reporting from Schreier has been that there's not right now, but that doesn't mean there won't be. So
yeah, or however I think one of the key things is like, okay, what is next for Destiny to bring more players in or people back to look at it? I assume that's on the table of being like, all right, we finished the final shape. What's next? If it's not Destiny 3, if they just call it, I mean, there's a part of me that's just like, just even drop Destiny 2, just call it Destiny, and that's just this ongoing game. And so what's the next big, like, new player introduction piece to that to get people to come back? And I bet that's probably on the horizon, that Sony will want something like that, because I feel like there's still promise to Destiny.
Oh, for sure.
It's just figuring out how to actually like be successful in this much more crowded marketplace than it originally came out in. And Marathon has to do well.
Yeah, exactly right. Marathon, in the live service push that they're making, obviously Concord's coming out soon and has been getting mixed previews. Yeah, exactly. But Helldivers was a success, so certainly Marathon could be a success. But boy, if it's not, they have a talented team who's still there, I assume.
Yeah, they do.
So they could be put on something totally different, and that'd be cool.
Yep.
I could imagine even thinking of some Sony IPs, like putting a small group on, or this new thing that's going. Like, Bungie is fucking good at what they do, so whatever it is, just coherent story in the game. That's what I would like.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. But
not
it's rough.
Rough, and not the only rough news this week. Unfortunately.
Oh, I did want to say, so layoff wise, game layoffs, we are at 11,400 confirmed, actual numbers for the year.
Jesus.
It's probably more than that, because there's a lot of the chart that I follow that does layoffs. There's probably 24 just question mark layoff numbers, because they just don't know how many people got laid off at these companies when they closed. So yes, we're at 11,400 for the year. I think Intel just laid off
ooh, dude.
Tech,
Intel, dude. My fucking Intel stock. Oof.
Oh yeah.
My Intel stock.
You owned Intel? Ooh.
I only own 5 shares, so it's not too bad. It's not bad at all, in fact, because it's just 5 shares. But I also own 5 shares of AMD. Holy fuck, Intel. It cratered. Just looking at Wall Street Bets Reddit and just the people who just lost it all.
Cut
wow.
15,000 jobs.
Fuck. 15,000 at Intel?
Yep. 15% of their staff.
Good Lord, Anthony. That's... Wow. Tech is bleeding.
Yeah, and the Intel is just not good, because there's other stuff going on with them. They're doing this right now, but that doesn't even keep in track of the 13th and 14th gen processors burning themselves out.
You mean literally?
Yeah, literally.
Oh my fucking god.
Core, the higher, the 65 watt or higher 13th and 14th gen Intel CPUs will, as far as people are starting to see, will eventually burn themselves out, some earlier than others, because there's a problem in their microcode that controls energy, where power is going on the chip, and it will burn out parts of the chip.
Oh my god. I really want an American
yet, but
they're on the verge, I would assume.
People are calling for them to do a recall with part numbers, the whole thing. It could be all of 13th and 14th gen. Who knows? But they're being pretty coy about what it is. But
sure, of course they are, just like Boeing was. I really want to see an American chip manufacturer succeed. But fuck, man, god damn it. That's the whole reason why I bought that stock.
Does Qualcomm own ARM?
I don't know, actually.
ARM. So I just saw, I think this is now going into a little bit of tech. Microsoft's latest laptops are all on ARM CPUs.
Okay. It might be Qualcomm.
Who owns ARM? Fairly. No, ARM is their own thing. I think someone wanted to buy them, and then got turned down. Maybe Qualcomm wanted to buy them, and that didn't work out. Someone wanted to buy them, and the merger, the buyout got like torpedoed.
I used to own Qualcomm. It went real well for us, so I sold.
Qualcomm's great.
I should have held on to that.
They do processors and stuff that work great for mobile, very low power things. And which is one of the reasons why. Which Qualcomm processors, I'm pretty sure, are ARM as well. It's a chip. It's an instruction set. It's like Linux and stuff run on it pretty well. Yeah. Damn it, I'm trying to see. But either way,
God damn,
you'll have some U.S. companies I think are going to generally be okay. But Intel's definitely going to take a hit for a while now.
The stock price is at the same point as it was in like 96 or whatever. Yeah, 97. Like, ooh, and those dollars, like, we're at inflation, man. Those are not the same dollars.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
That was 15,000 there. Game industry is moving right along, which is funny to say. Like, game industry laid off 11,400 people. Intel has laid off more people than that in one fell swoop. And it's ow.
Well, the game industry thing, I mean, obviously, I still think that's a big number. I know you do too. But it happening, it's just like every week. It keeps that story in the news. It feels like it's just a constant cutting, you know?
Yeah. Because I don't think we even talked about it. Humble Games.
Oh, right. We didn't. Humble Games, yeah.
They're owned by Ziff Davis.
Yep.
So people that own IGN as well. And this isn't Humble Bundle. This is just the game studio, and they're restructuring, except they laid most people off. So
laid everybody off. Restructuring.
I don't know what the restructuring means at that point.
It means they're going to hire cheaper people. They're going to outsource their jobs. This is why we need unions, because then they can have a thing in their bargaining contract to keep saying this, that like if you lay people off, when you hire new people, you have to consider the people who were laid off first. Blah blah blah.
I don't know if they're going to rehire people. I think the restructure is they have agreements to publish a couple more games
and then get the fuck out.
Basically.
Okay,
restructure to a skeleton crew, and then
restructure for bankruptcy. God.
Yeah, and then just be like, and now we're not going to publish games anymore. We'll just continue the bundle.
Damn, dude.
Yeah. So that was another one. But yeah, you're right. It just keeps happening. I can look at this chart, and it's basically like, do we have a week here where we didn't have some form of layoff? No. It's like every week for this entire year.
Jesus, man.
There's at least something, even if it's a small studio, either laying off or going under. So that's been fun. And then we learn the 33-year paragon of print media in the games is no more.
Game Informer is closed, and we got an AI generated text telling us about it, or seemingly. It didn't seem to be written. When I read that, before I heard anyone commenting on it, I was like, this is a weird way to say this for someone who's worked at Game Informer for a while. Like, this doesn't seem like what they would say, and clearly it probably wasn't written by them. So
yeah, not at all. I mean, it could be AI. It could just be some heavily crafted thing by Ziff Davis, being like, no.
Ziff Davis or GameStop?
Not Ziff Davis, GameStop. Sorry.
Yeah.
Which could be AI. Who knows?
God, dude, it fucking looked like it. Ryan Cohen. Man, a couple months ago, they put out this thing like, we're gonna, do paper again, like subscribe, and that kind of felt like the last ditch effort to get subscribers, and it didn't work apparently. So they're gone. The people who, not the whole team, apparently didn't know before the news came out, that little splash text thing on Twitter or whatever. Dude, just
wait for GameStop to just go under completely. Like, it's getting held up because it's a meme stock, but
exactly, they're sitting on a lot of cash because of the meme stock status, unfortunately. So,
but they're not actually making money.
No.
Not
What
even
the fuck
close.
do they sell? No.
Well, I know they now buy and sell Pokemon singles.
They do. That's right. They have the graded cards there.
Yeah, I was like, that's cool. Not really. Good luck.
Well, I will be giving them money this year because the NBA 2K25 or 24, 25, the new one coming out in September, the WNBA variant is only there. And I will be getting that. Yeah, I will be getting it this year because my daughter is obsessed with the WNBA, and it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So I will be giving them $60, $70, whatever the hell it is. Probably 70, I'm sure. But yeah,
70. It's is it EA? Probably EA.
No, it's 2K.
Or no, 2K. All right. Well,
I think it's 70. Still. I think it's 70. Yeah, I'll look it up, but I think it's 70. But yeah, a lot of the gaming podcasts that I listen to, I'm sure you listen to too, are just, kind of lamenting very heavily this whole thing. Because that's a lot of people cut their teeth on there, or people who come on the podcast are from there or know people who are there. It's just fucking sad to see, like, Game Informer did quality work and just be gone,
Mm-hmm.
Just be gone because of fucking, although, at some level, maybe Game Informer stayed around longer than it would have because of GameStop.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man.
There's not a whole lot of print media left.
Yeah. In the US, at least. Yeah. In the US. Apparently the UK has several, but yeah.
Yeah. UK has Edge still, I'm pretty sure. I have a guy at work that gets this thing called Patch.
Patch.
It's like an indie zine. It's all about indie games out of the UK. Patch.
Interesting.
Video game zine.
Yep, Patch Magazine, the indie gaming magazine out of the UK. Here it is.
Yeah.
#1 monthly indie gaming magazine.
Yep. He always brings them in to work and puts them on his desk for people to look at. And they're pretty neat. They're pretty simple.
That looks
takes
pretty cool.
Takes a few weeks to get it after it officially comes out in the US, to get shipped to the US, but yeah, it's not that expensive. I think it's like $7 or something.
$6. Like, physical magazine subscription delivery is $6 a month, I would assume, right?
Yeah, magazine, digital, and it's like there's a shipping, whatever.
Ooh, I like that size. It's kind of like a mini size.
Yeah, it's a zine.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard it called. That size. Yeah.
Yeah, A5 magazine compact. Oh, I like this.
Yep. Just a little short. It's got some neat articles in it.
I'm probably going to subscribe to this. This sounds good.
Yeah, it's neat. Thought about it a couple times because it's just neat to get something physical.
Yeah, exactly.
About games. They have that, I think. Edge Gaming Magazine.
And it's $4 shipping. Okay, yeah.
So yeah, it's like $10 a month. It's not awful.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna sign up right now. That's good.
Is Edge still physical? Magazine.
There we go. All right. Gonna support some print gaming media because I'm lamenting the loss of Game Informer, which I subscribed to digitally for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And enjoyed the magazine quite a bit.
Yeah. It was neat to see big covers, and I mean they covered big games, but it was always neat to see like yeah, and now looking, if you're still probably the last one to get, like, if you're like, oh, I just want to see what, like, the big games with like main covers, it's going to be Edge Gaming.
Okay.
And they're a UK thing. I've looked at it before.
Well, yeah.
And yeah, so it's like $10 per issue to the US or something. That's kind of it. I'm like, okay, there's those two in English. I'm sure there's gaming magazines in non-English speaking countries. But I would like to read those magazines. So
yeah, I wonder. I should look into one from Mexico in Spanish. Yeah,
there's probably
I can read that.
There, I assume either from Mexico or maybe Brazil might have them.
I wouldn't be able to read the Brazilian one. I wouldn't be able to read in Portuguese.
That's true, Portuguese.
I can read in Spanish. Yeah, well, I'll check this patch out. That's pretty cool. And shout out to MinMax, fucking the Discord, which I'm a part of because I'm a Patreon member, just jumped right in to the Game Informer archive and just started downloading everything because they took shit off. The Game Informer website was down to just like that fucking little text.
Yeah.
So people were going into the Wayback Machine or whatever and downloading shit and downloading everything off the YouTube channel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get that shit up on archive.org.
Yeah, and I didn't see Ben. I heard Ben Hansen's tweet right after it happened. If I can find it, I'll read it, because big shout out to what he said if I can get it. Maybe it's just a MinMax Twitter. I will see if I can find it. But yeah, dude, sad. Sad.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a little bit rough week. I'm kind of just hoping that this next week isn't as rough, right?
Right, it can only get better, right?
I need that. Yeah.
It can only get better. That's what I think. Good
Someone
God.
who's working on a game that's going to come out in the future. It's going to get better, right?
Yeah, how far in the future? Don't tell us, but like, yeah, hopefully so far in the future that like things are better
we
again.
have corrected.
Exactly.
Course correction has happened. That'd be nice.
Look, a lot of bad shit was happening in politics, and then someone like stepped back and said, "I'm gonna step away." So we just need to have that happen again somewhere, because that turns shit around.
Yeah.
Happily. So yeah, we'll see if that continues to happen. But you know, we're not gonna talk about it here. This is not this kind of podcast. But you've been reading the stuff about Neil Gaiman.
I saw briefly a couple things on Reddit, and I was like, "Oh no, I'm not diving into it." But I'm just also like, "Oh no, I'm gonna."
So yeah, don't just don't have heroes. Anywhere.
Basically anywhere, any place, anytime.
Yep, exactly.
I was like, of course.
Yeah. So anyway, why don't we talk about funner things like what we've been playing?
So mine's easy. I've put probably more time in Path of Exile than I've ever put in that game.
What the fuck? That's insane.
I'm just playing so much of it.
Go back, just search our archive, folks, for Path of Exile, and listen to how much this fucking guy has played that game. And you saying he's played more now? God damn.
This is a really good league.
That's awesome.
That's managing crazy. The town is just the hook that I need to keep me doing their in-game maps. Basically, they're the random generated maps where you get loot, but you get stuff for your town. And so I'm just like, yeah, that was the hook I needed. I just need to keep my town going and sending out my boats to trade goods so that I can effectively every few hours get back the boat comes back in and it's a big treasure chest of things, currencies and unique items and who knows what. And then I have my town's big enough and I can send them I can hire hirelings to run maps. So I can slot the maps in. The in-game maps are also other items that you use to create these maps and run them. So now I can be like, I have this machine and I have a couple hirelings running them for me, like my low-level ones, and then they give me items from it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really good. Best league they probably ever done, in my opinion.
That's great.
From what I've played, it's kind of amazing. Especially with Path of Exile 2 coming out, you're just like, what?
Right, the new one's coming out, and they've been doing leagues. Path of Exile is not a new game. They're just getting better. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, they stumble every now and then, but they don't have a consistent stumble. That's the thing. The most I've ever felt where they had leagues that weren't great was 2 in a row, and then the third one was good again. They're very responsive. They'll course correct a lot. And really, that's kind of, if I think about it, let's say they had a poor league, it gives them enough time. It takes them about probably 2 leagues to course correct because people are working that far ahead. So where things are already done. So it wouldn't surprise me that they have a bad league, 2 bad leagues, but that third one is good because they've identified some problems and fixed them, and they can get them out for that third league whenever they do it. It's shocking how good it is. It came out in 2013 was when it first launched.
God damn.
And it was a real rough game when it first launched. I'll say that. I think it really trying to think of like when was 3.0? Like 2017 is I think when it got real good. 3.0. So I'm looking through the Breach Atlas. Like I played it off and on earlier than that, but it was really since 2017 is whenever I feel like their design got really good. They put a really good in-game to it. That's when the maps kind of came in and your giant in-game atlas that you're putting together. Lots of unique bosses at the end there to drive you forward. I fought bosses I've never fought before now because they're so far into the end game that I normally would fall off before getting there. No, now I fought them and they're insane. So it's a good league, and they made just generally melee feels really good. So like how I want to play the game feels really good now. I don't know. That's all I've been playing. When I have time to play games, I'm just playing that.
Well, clearly, if you've spent more time on it than you ever had before, this is like you found some sort of time portal.
Yeah, I've been up real late.
Yeah. I love when like finding a game like that where you're just like, I just can't go to bed. I want to keep playing.
Yeah. There's a little something. Oh, I got a ship. A ship's going to come in like 15 minutes. I should wait to see what's there.
Yeah.
Oh, it has some new maps. I should go run those.
I feel like Elden Ring and Shadow of the Erdtree were like that for me, where like I sit down and start playing like at 10 o'clock and usually I'm done by 11 and I'm still playing at like 12:30. Like I got to go to bed, turn this shit off.
But there's always something around a corner. There's always something new to see and find. And
exactly. Yeah. Speaking of, that's a good transition to what I've been playing. I'm finally at the point where Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is clicking. It's chapter 4 where I got to Junon. And Yuffie comes and, you're fighting whatever the fucking big fish thing that comes out when Yuffie's trying to get to shore. And just that whole town, like it's finally starting to click. And I think part of it is that I've stopped doing the open world stuff. I'll do a couple of things and then just kind of mainline the story. And I'm much more invested in it. So I know that as you move through, you have to do some stuff, and some of the side stuff rewards you. I think I just fixed somebody's cart on the way to Junon, and that rewards you with like, now you can fast travel between here and there or whatever. So that's useful. So I'm sure there's more useful things with the side stuff. So I'm not going to avoid it, but in the grasslands, I was kind of doing a lot of it, and I was like, okay, this is not fun, and I need to stop and just continue on with the story. And since I've taken that strategy, I'm 18 hours in now, I think, in chapter 4, and really enjoying the characters, really enjoying the writing and the story. The writing is really good, I think. I thought Remake was good, but I really think the characterization and the back and forth is pretty good, except for the one point where I forget who it was. Maybe it was Cloud. I don't think it was Cloud. Somebody called someone else a douchebag. I was like, whoa. That seems a little weird for this world. Are there douches in this world? Now I started wondering, like, do people douche in this world? Okay.
There's enough technology. I mean.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Why? I mean.
It just seems so like of our world. I assume
there's all pretty crazy normal healthcare can go on here.
Yeah. So anyway, that threw me out of it a little bit. But otherwise, I'm enjoying it. I like the twist where Yuffie's there and then Yuffie's all of a sudden not there. Catch up with her later, I guess.
Ridiculous.
Yuffie's, yeah, man. I'm so glad I played the intergrade where I'm like getting introduced to Yuffie. She's great. And I'm having a lot of fun. My party composition right now is surprising to me. It's Cloud, Barrett, and Red 13. I usually do Tifa and Aerith, but I'm not right now. And it's kind of cool when you're battling, like they're still there. Kind of, I see Aerith shooting stuff every once in a while into the battlefield. And they're all there kind of just talking shit as you're progressing through the story. I know I have to get to Final Fantasy Adventure and play the next section, but I can't stop playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. So enjoying that quite a bit. And that's
cool.
My daughter's playing Stray for the second time and just having fun. She is just in love with that game. And it's got a weird, good story, but a weird story for like what my daughter would be into. But she is all in. And she's solving the puzzles. She's doing a really fucking good job. Like
it helps that it's a cat.
Dude, that's why. Yeah, the cat is like why she's there. But then there's a part where you have to like go to traverse this city vertically and horizontally to try to get the 4 different apartments to get 4 different notebooks. And when I've played it, once by myself and then once with her. I was like, how the fuck do I get here? Dude, by herself? Dude, she was just like, boom, 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 knew exactly where to go, didn't waste a fucking second. I was like, how the fuck did you figure that out? So it's cool to watch her grow as a gamer.
Yeah.
So that's it, other than Suika with my wife, which is her favorite game of all time at this point.
Suika game.
Suika game, man, it's fucking good. It's great.
What did, as a side thing, because Steam wants to recommend weird crap to me.
Hentai, baby.
There was a hentai Suika game.
Oh, God, I was kidding. Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, no, there was one. I was like, what?
Oh, my God, that's hilarious. I was so kidding. Oh,
yeah,
now I'm opening up Steam.
It was popular new releases for me, and it was shown as Horny Suika.
Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Yes, I'm gonna go check it out.
No,
oh my god! Oh my god!
No, you don't.
I have the adult blocker on, so I don't see that stuff anymore.
Good.
Unless I search for it, which I'm gonna do right now.
I should do that.
Horny Suika, which doesn't even pop up. Okay. I do have it. 0 matches, 2 titles, including Horny Suika Wet Watermelon, have been excluded based on your preferences.
There you go.
I'm going to click on it anyways. I'm going to view the page.
No, you don't.
Nope, too late. Holy shit, I shouldn't have done this. Oh my god, dude. Wow, that's... Wow.
Thanks, Valve. Thank you.
Oh my god. Where's the Suika part of this game? Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, I see the wheel there. It goes from wow to wow. Okay. Wow. I'm so glad I have this stuff blocked now.
Yeah, I probably should do that. I'm like, but what if there's a...
You
what
would
if
probably
there's
miss something that's not like this, you know?
That makes me sad, that is... that will get blocked, that I'm like, no, but I actually wanted to see that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's always my fear. But maybe it's an unfounded fear. And I'm just
right, because how many of those things have... Yeah.
myself to pain and stupid things. But how would I have this anecdote during our podcast if I had things
You've
like
made
this
our
blocked?
podcast so much better. Oh, and you've inadvertently got me downloading and updating Team Fortress 2 while I'm recording. This is great.
Good. Is Team Fortress 2 still at mostly negative?
No, actually, it flipped around because they got rid of the bots. So I changed my review.
Good.
Yeah, they got rid of the bots in the
job.
July update. So for the most part, it sounds like. So that's good news.
Good, because that was insane.
Yeah, and that sucks for like such a long running game, you know?
Yeah. But yeah, no, that's all good. We'll see if I still play Path of Exile, because Diablo 4 has a league that starts on Tuesday. And it's the compressed league before the expansion.
Right. You're going to bounce from one ARPG to the other.
I'm like, do I just play ARPGs now until, man,
for the rest of your life?
August? And then I know that there's the Persona 3 Reload DLC is in September. Yep. Visions of Mana is at the end of this month. Demo went up for that.
Yeah, people have been... have you played it?
I have not.
Okay,
I didn't even know the
pretty...
demo went up.
Yeah, people have been pretty positive on it, which made me think, oh, fuck, because you got it on Fantasy Critic.
I do. I'll wait on that one till end of the month. I'm not going to pre-order or anything, but
yeah.
People are positive to it. Maybe.
Well, Astrobot comes out on the 6th of next month. I'm very excited for that. And then Zelda at the end of next month. Whoop.
Man, so much. I've been told that my daughter's still buying that, and she's going to use her money, and we are not allowed to play it for 2 weeks.
Yes, that's good. Yes, that is a good strategy.
I did offer that said that I would pay half of it if the 2-week part wasn't a requirement. Yeah.
And she's like, no, Dad, that's the main point of this.
No, the main point is that no one can punt her off of it if she wants to be playing it.
Yeah, sure.
Which I'm more than happy to be like, no, you get to play it whenever you want to play it.
Yeah. Very cool.
But
we are very excited for that in our house, and clearly you are too.
Yes, very much so. So yeah. That's all I got.
That's awesome. All right. Well, thanks for listening to this episode of Prof and Dev Play Games. Hopefully next week we have happy things to talk about, but boy, the way things are going, we'll see how the rest of August goes. If you like us, please rate us on your podcast service of choice, and we will see you next week.
Later, everyone.